said mean things to me. Hold on a second, Ace. Oh, hold on. Point to the teddy bear. Where does it hurt, Ace? What mean things did he say to you? Does it hurt here? Does it hurt there? Where did he touch you? Where did it hurt? You want to point to the teddy? Point to the teddy. Where's it hurt, Ace? If you find this video, it's not exactly what I wanted, but I just want to put this Philippines thing behind me, and I hope you listen to two things here. Is one, remember, I'm just an old guy with a bunch of gray hair and a lot of opinions, a whole lot of opinions, right? They're opinions, right? Everybody's got an opinion, the same, right? The other thing is if you're watching these videos and you like the Philippines, go. Just get up and go. And if you need help with that, find people who are uplifting, find positive people, find positive influences in your life, and figure out what it takes financially, emotionally, courage-wise, and get up and go. And meet these chuckleheads in person if you want. But go. Don't sit around and wait. Don't watch them on YouTube. Go sit in the bars with the girls, have a good time, and then see what comes next. But remember those two things. Have a great day. So, Tim K in Angeles City. We got about a 20-minute walk. We'll see how far I can get in this. Tim K's living in Angeles City rent-free, probably for eternity, but at least a good 5-10 years. And why do I say that? Because he's under the skin of the YouTubers there, and it just cracks me up. He's living rent-free in their head, and I was trying to, I've recorded this a few times. I'm trying to figure out why does it bother me that these chuckleheads are out there trying to tear this guy down. I'm not a, super fan or fanboy of Tim K. I just, I don't like watching people attack somebody for, whatever, no good reason, right? And, if you've got a legitimate gripe with somebody, deal with it like a man. And these guys are out there, just talking shit, and they're just childish. Mark Thornton down in Dumaguete just got in a fist fight over some bullshit talking. Philly in the Philippines had that 3-hour thing, and he had that guy on there, and the guy's like, yeah, if Tim ever comes near me, I'm going to slit his belly open, right? And, there's all this talk about violence, and for me, when I left America, I went to Europe, and I changed my circle of friends, right? I kept the best friends, kept in contact with them, but I changed the circle of influences in my head. And so I'm listening to these guys as I'm headed back to the Philippines last year, and I start, tuning back into the Philippines, seeing what's changed, what's not. These guys are just a bunch of chuckleheads who are just talking shit. And where are they going in life? They're going nowhere in life. They're just desperate for money, desperate for attention, and they're just going nowhere in life. And what I saw with Tim K is he changed his life. I'm not trying to put words in his mouth. I'm just telling you what I saw on his channel. On one of his episodes, Long Gone, he said, I want to go and, I wanted to find a wife. I wanted to find a new wife. So I was in Europe, I was in Russia, I was here, I was there. And then he started looking at the Philippines, found Chrissy, got married, cleaned up his life, and he's changing. These chuckleheads, they're just the dirty, nasty mud crabs in the bucket trying to pull somebody down because they've got nothing else going in their lives. And they said it. I'm going to keep referring back to this one video from Philly in the Philippines because he says everything you need to know in this one video and a couple others. But to me, the guy's just I'm not saying it's intentional, but the guy's just he's a cage kicker. He's a simp cage kicker. You can say simple. Anyway, I'll get into simps again later. But so in the first 5 minutes of that 3-hour or 2-hour rant, whatever, where he has a picture of Tim K up, he says, oh, well, Tim didn't earn his channel. Tim didn't do this. And us YouTubers. And see, this is a simp, right? Simps, they always want to pull other people in and pretend like there's all these people standing behind them and they're speaking for the unheard people. He doesn't have the courage to just stand alone and stand by his words. So he's going to say, oh, well, all these other people. No, you're just a childish little man who, is pretending to be an adult. And you don't like the fact that this guy's got some success that you don't have. He's got some skills, some talent. He's entertaining enough that people want to watch him. He's got a better story that people are interested in. And Philly says it right there in the first 5 minutes, 10 minutes of that video. And it's, and then he's going out there trying to defame the guy, trying to put him up against this guy, Andy, whatever, right? And Andy's, like, my first recollection of that chucklehead is he's online saying Tim isn't even a veteran. And now, we all know how that ended, right? He was running down the street. And so Philly thinks this guy's a credible person, and he's trying to goat Tim into coming onto his channel because, he wants to steal some of his viewers or, try and talk shit to him or whatever. It's like, give me a break. Philly wouldn't even put me on his channel because I'd tear the shit out of him verbally. I don't need to beat him up. He's just a mental midget. I'd tear the crap out of him. He talks all this shit about being pious and righteous and, oh, you can't steal my content. Well, it's because he won't stand by his words. He won't stand behind his words. He won't stand behind what he said and done. He's just a coward. And so he tries to pit Tim against this Andy Omar. And then in that live stream, they're sitting there going on, and there's a couple other guys in there, and they're talking shit about the military and, oh, Tim stolen valor, Tim this, Tim that. And then, they're comparing the Bronze Star, pretty high award in the United States military, to a bunghole, a poop chute, the brown starfish. They're saying, oh, yeah, well, they're about the same thing. And then they're saying, oh, well, blue cords are silly. Every infantry gets a blue cord. Oh, that's silly. Oh, Tim only deployed for X amount of months. There's guys out here deployed 10 times, 12 times. Oh, my God. How dare he be proud of it that he, signed the check and got on a plane and went to deploy for the military. How dare he be proud of that? Because other guys did so much more. Give me a goddamn break. Who the hell are you to pass judgment on another man? And what makes you think your opinion is so all high and mighty that you can use it to try and disparage somebody? It just cracks me up. And now, as you start digging in, right? Philly talks all this shit about, oh, I'm an American, no. And, well, on September, I can't remember, it's the 3rd or 23rd, whatever, he does the live stream talking about how people stole his content. And you gotta follow the law, follow the law, follow the law. He's got that dumbass pelt head of a haircut with the sunglasses inside because, I'm a cool guy. He was a cool guy before the Deuce Dud showed up, right? So anyway, he's wearing an American flag shirt. It's an American flag cut up or repurposed, or American flag replication into a shirt. And guess what? That's against the law, Philly. Any self-respecting veteran knows that. And the other thing that came out that's pretty interesting is, evidently, according to the rumor mill, and Philly hasn't addressed this, Philly got kicked out of the military. Less than honorable, dishonorable, we don't know, but there's a guy out there that says he's got the goods on Philly, and Philly got kicked out. So, care to comment on that, Philly? I took a wrong turn. Definitely going the wrong way. I need to go up a couple more blocks, I think. So, but again, all you have to do is listen to these guys' words. Listen to these guys' words, and they will tell you everything you need to know. And why does it matter to me? Because when you listen to chuckleheads and deuce dropping, we'll get into deuce here in a minute, but when you listen to these chuckleheads, it brings you down, and it brings you down slowly over time. It's like somebody adding a little weight to you. And if you want to get off the couch and go to the Philippines, I'm all for it. If you want to go sit in a bar, drink with some pretty girls, that's a good place to do it. Been there, done that, had a good time. If you want to do more than that, that's on you. But, you know, my morals, values, and ethics are pretty clear. You know, you don't intermix children and sexual activity or adult activities, right? There's adult activities and there's children activities. And Philly in the Philippines is driving minors to his channel and promoting sex tourism. And if you go back and you go to his channel and you search it, I would show you all this gladly, but he'll YouTube strike me to death. And he's too much of a coward, you know. And I've got some other things coming for Philly, but go to his channel, hit the search this channel, or go like hit the top most popular videos, hit the search this channel, hit bar find in the search engine, and then this will make you really disgusting. You know, if he hasn't taken it down, go in there and hit tub, search tub, and he's like, you know, blah blah blah, here's my teenage daughter in the tub. Now, whether it's an innocent video or not, it's what it's representing, right? And when you start looking, he's got his teenage daughter's birthday parties side by side with bar girls and, you know, age of consent being 16 years old in the Philippines. Both are kind of, you know, bar girls in schoolgirl outfits, age of consent being, you know, 16 years old. These are the titles, and then the next title's like, oh, and you know, so-and-so's 15th birthday, right? So he's driving two groups of people that should be separate and in every way, shape, and form together to view the same content. And to me, that's disgusting. It's wrong. And it's going to have ramifications that are long-lasting for both him and the community. And if you can't see that, I'm sorry, but it is obvious as hell to anybody with a cognitive brain. So Tim K is going to live in that brain forever because he's a jealous little bitch and he can't understand why people like to watch Tim. And Tim offended him because he wouldn't go on the show with the Godfather. The Godfather is organizing this, you know, peace negotiation with a fucking chucklehead. And a chucklehead who wants to disparage the United States military, called the National Guard paramilitary. And this, you know, cage kicker whose ink is dry on his passport, you know, just sat there and let it all happen. Didn't say shit about it, right? So, and then you've got Deuce, man. The steaming pile of Deuce. Deuce stud dude. He's not ace cool guy. He's Deuce stud dude. DDD, Deuce stud dude. Deuce stud dude. Started out pretty funny. Makes a video, you know, about Tim K. It was a good video. It's funny as shit, right? And then he makes a video saying how Tim and his wife are going to break up. And then he makes another video, the Tim K scam. Like, did Tim K create a scam so well known that it's got named after him? Did he commit a crime that he's going to jail for. You're out there convicting a guy in public opinion. Isn't that like legally precarious to be defaming somebody in such a way on the internet? I don't know. I'm just asking, because that, to me, that seems pretty legally precarious to brand a type of scam as, you know, belonging to Tim K, because, you know, evidently, according to Deuce, you know, Tim created this novel scam and, you know, scammed people. I don't know, but sounds like you accused him of committing a crime. Not a smart thing to do, Deuce. Deuces are meant to go in the toilet and get flushed, right? Going number 2, Deuce Dud dude, right? So then he makes this video, and I guess he's on a live stream, right? And this goes back, I didn't mention this about Philly, but they're both the same thing, right? You know, Deuce makes another video, and he's complaining, Tim said mean things to me. He was on a live stream I was watching, and he said mean things to me. I'm the nice guy. I'm the nice guy who made the video about Tim committing a scam. I'm the nice guy who made a video about how Tim and his wife are doomed to failure. I'm the nice guy, and Tim said mean things about me, but I can't tell you what it was. No, I can't tell you what it was. Because it was mean. It was mean. And I'm the nice guy. I'm Deuce. Deuce Dud dude. So, guy just fucking cracks me up. And, you know, he puts a lot of work into writing all that fake shit on his whiteboard, making all that shit up. But if the best you can do, if you're gonna say this is all comedy and he's just having fun, the best you can do is make up shit about a dude and his wife, try and break them up. Like, seriously? You're gonna come between a man and a woman? You're gonna go on the internet and try and drive a wedge between a man and his wife, and you're offended that he said some mean things? Boy, I hope everybody that ever watches him stops and puts that in context and say, if this guy made 5 videos about how he wants to break up me and my wife, what would you do to him? Would you hire half a dozen private investigators? Would you, I mean, seriously, what would you do if somebody goes online and is trying to break you and your wife up? Break you and your girl up? You know, it's interesting. So he makes this video. He won't tell you what live stream he's on because he doesn't want you to watch the same live stream he is. That's for him to know and you to not, right? He can't share the entertainment he enjoys because you're not good enough to know. And he's just too much of a simp to plug anybody else, right? Too much of a simp to say, hey, I enjoy this guy, right? So he's just out there saying, oh, well, Tim said mean things. He doesn't tell you what he said. Won't tell you what he said, right? Because what Tim said in the proper context was probably really nice and gracious. Probably very nice and gracious, given the context that I just laid out. And that's all factual. That's all, like, go search his channel and look at the timeline. It's clear as day. He even has a playlist, the Tim K playlist. It inspired me. I appreciate it. Appreciate it, Deuce Dud. Appreciate it so much, Deuce Dud, because I'm gonna have an Angeles YouTubers playlist now. And you're out there talking shit, and you get offended that he said some mean things on your friend's channel that you won't even plug. And then you say, oh, and then the nicest YouTuber in Angeles. Again, you won't even say who that is. So you're saying there's this super nice YouTuber and the nicest guy ever, but I won't tell you who it is because you're not good enough. You're just a viewer, right? Give me a break, Deuce. You're just a simp. Little baby simp. And so both these guys are out there trying to tear down Tim, trying to keep him from making money so they can make money. I'm not trying to make money. I don't care. Am I trying to keep them from making money? No, I'm sitting here telling you, go watch their shit, listen to their shit, and pay attention to what they say. Because it's people like that, when you have people like that in your circle, in your ear all the time, it brings you down, it drives depression, drives impulsivity. And I'm not just talking shit here. I spent years struggling with depression. How did I get out of it? By studying. And there's this little thing that's, becoming common knowledge right now. When you speak the truth, your brain actually grows. There's a little spot in your brain, when you speak the truth, your brain grows. It makes you more resilient. Just by speaking the truth. It's good for you. Makes you feel good over time. And then there's also a lot of research and studies that came out, and I mention this book all the time. Trevor Moawad, It Takes What It Takes. It's a great book. And it talks about how when you have these negative people in your ear all the time, how it brings you down, how it decreases your performance, decreases your decision making, has all these negative side effects. There's even like one little fringe note out there. Somebody was talking about how it shortens your lifespan. Having this negatives, right? Shortens your lifespan. So go listen to them. Tell me I'm wrong. Show me where they plugged other channels gratuitously. Show me where they lifted anybody up. Going back to Philly about bringing people down. He did that. I've harped on him a couple times about that Scorebird's thumbnail. The girl's bent over, and in the little video I did that he struck, put the copyright strike on. I wouldn't even post the thumbnail on my channel unedited. I had to edit his face over her backside because it was inappropriate to not be behind an 18 and over wall, right? It's just inappropriate. If you're going to put that behind an 18 and over wall, that's fine. But here's the thing I want you to think about when you go look at that video. One, he branded Scorebirds that way forever, right? Two, he had hours of video. He took the most disparaging moment for that young lady and put that online. He branded her with that image. Instead of finding the most beautiful, uplifting, promoting image of her in the hours of video he had, he chose that. Why? Because he's a desperate little simp trying to make money and thinking that's a better clickbait than a beautiful woman. Thinking her bum stuck up in the air is gonna get him 10% more money. He's gonna make 10%, 20% more money on that video, and he's gonna be and taking care of his sex tourists who are too lazy to get off their ass and actually go drink a beer with these girls. Just cracks me up. But it speaks everything about the type of person these guys are and why Tim K will be living in their head forever and a day, right? So Deuce Dudley dude, he went out there and made a video and saying, I'm in love with Chrissy. And it's like, dude, how fucking petty are you that you fall in love with another guy's wife and then you want to talk shit about him online because you're too immature to get off your ass, change your life, be a better man, and go attract somebody of value. And that's kind of the thing that cracks me about all these people. And Angela's talking about the girls and go to the Philippines for the girls, go to Philippines for the girls. You know what? I love women too. I love drinking, I love partying, I love having a good time. But when I decided I wanted to actually get serious about life, I didn't start going looking for somebody I could swoop in and take advantage of, or swoop in and rescue, or somebody who's in a hard situation and would fall in love with me because I could put food on the table. I started making myself a better man. You may not see it, but I've spent a lot of time, a lot of effort working on my mentality, working on my diet, working on everything in my life. And my life has gone 10x. Not because I went and found a woman who I could put food on the table and she would love me as long as I buy her mom new shoes. I don't even have a girlfriend. I don't even, I'm not even at that phase yet, because I looked in the mirror and I said, who the hell would want to be with a fat old man like me? And most of these chuckleheads should do the same. This deuce dud dude, he should go fucking look in the mirror and go, what self-respecting woman would actually want to, wake up next to me on a Monday morning? And Philly, God, he's got kids in the house. He needs to just go to church and ask a pastor, hey, what do you think about my career? And then he brings the shit home, right? He's mixing the two. It's like one thing if you're gonna, work a horrible job, I get it. Make money, take care of your family. But he's mixing the two. Does he want somebody chasing his daughter around with a video camera? Saying, here's a good Jergens moment? Like he did that girl on the street? Does he want, somebody else walking around with video cameras, hidden video cameras for 5 years, chasing girls down the street that may be his wife, maybe his daughter, and putting that shit online for other people without their permission? What kind of fucking man does that? And what kind of people support him? If you're supporting that behavior, good on you. Enjoy it. I hope you really enjoy it. But I'll tell you, if you want to have a better life, if you really want to enjoy the fruits of this world, that's not the behavior that'll get you there. It took me a long time to figure it out. I was never that depraved. But, I went to Angeles. I had a fun time. I went here, I went there. And you don't have to go to the Philippines to find a woman. There's women everywhere. Everywhere. I'm in Tokyo. I've met half a dozen women here who are fucking incredibly gorgeous. Poland, Portugal, Albania, Spain, even Sweden, I met one lady. They're everywhere. There's beautiful women everywhere on this planet, and they just want a quality fucking man. And if you're not a quality fucking man, then yeah, you're gonna be out, scraping and, doing whatever you can. One of the iterations I tried, I compared these two chuckleheads to dogs on the street, right? They're like street dogs. And they're just smart enough to have found that if they hang out in front of a steakhouse, they'll get some bones to chew on. So they're just these like shitty fucking street dogs out there, living off the scraps of other people. It's just disgusting. Just utterly disgusting. And if you're throwing them a bone, good on you, right? Take care of them. But me, no, I ain't throwing no bones to that dog. I ain't gonna kick it either, but I'm gonna chase it away, right? It was the neatest thing today. First time in a long time I saw pigeons out foraging like real birds do. They weren't in the park, right? Because they don't want you feeding the birds in the park here. So there's tons of pigeons. They were out in the grass, like eating bugs, digging for seeds or whatever it was in the grass that they were chasing. And it was a nice thing to see. And sometimes men need the same treatment. Stop feeding the bad men, right? And let them go be men. So both these guys are, acting like they're desperate as hell to make money on YouTube. And, I'm sorry. But, it's a sad situation. It's a really sad situation. And I wouldn't have taken umbrage with it, honestly, until Philly led me down the rabbit hole when he started talking shit about the military. Said the National Guard's paramilitary. If you're a soldier, you know what that means. They made fun of blue cords. And these chuckleheads won't stand behind their words. That chucklehead deuce stud dude won't stand in front of Tim and say, hey, fuck you, I want your wife, right? He won't do that shit. He's a coward. He won't even stand by his own words, I promise you. Philly, we already know Philly won't stand by his own words. And here's the I was going to save this, but I'll throw it out there too. So if you stayed till the end, here's a little secret. 2 secrets. Philly talks all this shit in that thing about Copyright, no Steves. Oh, Steve stole my material. They stole my material. Guess what? Philly's guilty of the same exact crime he committed. He just hasn't been called out on it. He's got screenshots of that World Zoom guy, Tim, Rike, and a bunch of other people on his thing as thumbnails. And guess what? Those screenshots are from their YouTubes. And if he doesn't have written consent from them prior to doing it, he's guilty of the same crime he's bitching about. Yes, I'm guilty of a YouTube strike. Took my pills, took my little course. I misunderstood the fair use. I was going to argue fair use. I could have argued fair use, except the problem I didn't understand about fair use is under fair use, it can't be disparaging to the original content. And this is clearly disparaging to the original content. No questions there. A little detail I didn't know. I learned. I won't do it again, right? Learned my lesson. But Philly, talking all this shit, still didn't learn his lesson because he's still got those thumbnails up. And he just hasn't been called out on it. Here's the funny thing. If half a dozen people were to call him on it right now, guess what? He'd get all those strikes, demonetize his channel, take his channel down forever. 3 strikes and you're done, right? He's got like 6 strikes sitting up there, 8 strikes sitting up there, just waiting for the people to chime in. If they all did it at the same time or in the same month, guess what? He's done. It's gone. All that money's gone. And here's the other thing. You're gonna watch these guys, they're gonna start trimming their libraries pretty heavily. So if you've seen any content like a Jurgens moment or any comment about like, oh, that girl's hot, or, you know, ooh, look at this girl, or ooh, look at those boobs, or whatever, right? I would go screen record that. If you want to screw with these guys or you want to protect that woman, I would go screen record that, because, you know, I've been having to do a lot of research, right? What do you think I found? You think I stopped at just what I'm doing? You think I'm not digging into everything he did? Because I'm bored, right? You poke the bear, you pick up, you know, you start shitting and throwing it at people, shitting in your hand like a monkey and throwing it at people. Somebody's going to pick it up and throw it back, ask you to stand behind your words, ask you to stand behind your behaviors. If you're going to take the righteous stance, they're going to ask you to stand behind what you've said and done. I'll either stand behind what I said and done, or I'll apologize and move on. You know what? I was wrong with the YouTube strike. Took my lumps, I'm moving on, right? Not sitting here trying to say I was right. I had planned on arguing fair use. When I got down to the details, there was one little detail, like I said, I didn't understand. But now I do. And I understand a whole lot more. And believe me, they're going to start pruning their shit. So if you want to screw with these guys, or if you want to protect some of the women on their channel, get that shit recorded quick, because I promise you, if their channels are still up, and they're going to be pruning the hell out of them, because they've opened themselves up to questionable legal behavior that they're obviously not aware of. And Philly, with all his righteousness about follow the law, he clearly didn't pay attention, because he's not following the law. And it's clear as day. Like, I don't know how you miss it. But I'm gonna go get some sushi and have a good night. And I hope you do the same. Sorry this took so long. I recorded it like 3 times. I didn't like any of them. Probably won't like this tomorrow, but I'm gonna post it anyway. There is one little cut I want to put in because it was funny and I enjoyed it. And that's what this all is for me. This is just fun. This is just me, like I said, picking up the shit these guys threw, throwing it back at them and saying, hey, is this yours? Do you care to clean it up? Do you care to stand by it? Do you care to, you know, adjust your stance? You know, that's all it is.